friends, welcome back to our viewers. Thank you for joining us today. Again, time with Morpheus is about to be, I think, very excited, delivering you a little bit of the truth revolving around trading with a risky instrument like binary options. And essentially telling you how to do this based on logic, math, statistics. Chats are open. There's my boy Henry. Donald's usually also in the house, but we're probably going to see him a little bit later. He told, there he is. All right, he did tell me in Telegram that he might be a little bit late for today's session about some business he had to do. But anyways, chats are open, my dear friends. The discussions that we have, they're done live. This is not pre-recorded. I do encourage you to, maybe even test. I don't ask for trust. Who the hell am I? I'm the guy in a mask. You don't even know. There's a reason for that. I mentioned this in the previous videos, but nevertheless, we're trading with Pocket Option. The link is below. It's a wonderful platform that offers significant flexibility with regards to the instruments that it offers. Well, I do encourage you to test all of the things that we do. All of these live streams are in the channel. You can kind of peruse. We I think that out of like a month and a half, or probably more, right? We're in 22nd today. So for almost 2 months, we had only one day where we went into a slight minus. Right, so you're not, asked to trust this. You can actually take a look at the previous videos. We actually have 100% success rate, 100, which is like ridiculous. Honestly, I don't expect that this is going to happen because, just statistically speaking, you are going to have some negative trades or negative results, even with macro statistics. But it just so happened that I started monitoring all of our statistics from June, beginning of June till today. There is 100% success rate with all of the macro statistics. Actually, this Thursday, right, day after tomorrow, we're going to take advantage of the PMIs, right? This is actually, we're going to have 3 events in a span of an hour and a half, and this is something that you are encouraged to be part of. But again, don't take my word for it. There's lots and lots of fluff out there, to say it nicely, in the YouTube channel kind of domain. And lots of guys, they kind of do this on pre-recorded videos, so it's okay to do it. It's a little easier to do it with pre-recorded because you can catch a particular span where even if you screw up, at some point you make money. But that's not what we do. This is why this is so cool that I get a chance to share with you my extensive experience and essentially kind of tell you logic, math, statistics, or rather logical application of math based on your statistics is something that's, where you don't need ideal. You don't need 90% success rate. You don't need, you need about 50. Sometimes you get it even less. All right, I've shown you in Pocket Option where you click on the social trading, and you actually get, to see the top traders of the day, and you get to see that, some of them will have in the money like 2-3 thousand with like 40% success rate with proper money management, with proper money management application. You shouldn't, should still be at the end of the month in profit, way better than anywhere else you can, kind of do in traditional investing, whether it's like bonds, stocks, or what have you. All right, so today, my dear friends, actually, I'm gonna kind of once again test my luck with you guys. Today we're going to, we talked about winning tournaments. Now I told you, kind of like a particular strategy, and it looks like I'm not gonna make it today. Yeah, but I told you that you can use the multiplier of 1.5, and this tournament is free for you. For every single one who's, Pocket Option client, they get a chance to participate in a tournament called Day Off for free. And what I would say is that in order to win a tournament based on a plan, it takes time. It would actually take you like 5, 6, 7 hours of sitting in front of a computer to win 50 bucks, it might not really be worthwhile. However, the fact is that it's free. All right, you are able to go all in like we did right now and double your balance. You can go all in again and double, almost double your balance with 92%, whatever. But in essentially 2, 3 wins all in, you'll be like $400, $500 in profit. And at that point, starting with with the martingale sheet that I'll send you, if anybody wants to reach out, I'll send you the martingale's, formula, the sheet where you can just plug in the numbers. And in few videos in the past, I've actually explained how to win a tournament according to a plan. If you start with $100 and $1, and then when you reach $110, you start the first step martingale with $1.10. Right, so it's got a snowball effect, but man, it takes a while to get from 100 to 200, where your first position would be $2 instead of $1. So I would say that cut down this waiting time because this is free. All right, if you don't have like 5, 6 hours to sit in front of a computer, that's okay. Just while you wake up in the morning and having your cup of coffee, just get in here for a quick second and go all in, go all in. And at that point, if you manage to get yourself into like $400 range, then the first step is $4. You'll have 6 steps martingale with the 1.5 multiplier, and you just, go about your business throughout the day while you're waiting for the bus. You just, keep clicking, and you can do it with AI. You don't even need to do technical analysis. AI is actually decent enough where it shouldn't give you like 6 false signals in a row. It does sometimes happen, so I would actually encourage for you to study some of the videos that we discussed about certain indicators or certain approaches of trading. If you want, you can reach out to me one-on-one, just like Henry and Donald do. Whenever they have questions, they go to Telegram. You talk to me specifically, a person, not a bot. We can even do a video call, but, so I actually do coaching one-on-one, just like with Henry and Donald. But that's paid service. Though to answer any kind of questions that you might have, it's certainly you're free to do that without any kind of obligations, without any kind of pressure for a kind of action, right? So something worth keeping in mind. I love doing what I do. I constantly say, no, I don't have a private jet. I'm not really focused on that, or a yacht, but I do fly first class wherever I want, and I do have a boat that I can take with my 4x4 with my family onto into the nature and enjoy, right, some time together. And the fact is that I'm a citizen of the world. This is something that should kind of maybe open some eyes. I don't live in any place that I don't want to. I can move anytime I want, and my budget, my salary keeps, traveling with me. I'm okay with making money whether I live in the States. For 23 years, I was born in the Soviet Union. I traveled all over former USSR. I lived in Cyprus for several years, right, in Limassol. So, I'm actually looking to maybe as soon as my daughter grows up a little bit, I have a 6-month-old daughter, we might try Asia. I haven't been to Asia. Been to Europe, a bunch of places. Been to America. Been to, former USSR kind of countries. But this is what I love about binary, is that I can essentially take this anywhere in the world. I can make money on the side, with my bunny slippers on, not even brushing my teeth in the morning. I can wake up, do a little bit of analysis, make a few, $100 and, be done for the day, or be done for like, even a week if we do, if you catch a really good fundamental, reasons. All right, so today I'm going to discuss it with you guys a very, very, very complicated, well, not very, very, very complicated, but, man, look at this. Ichimoku Cloud, right? This thing is redonkulous. It has so many so many lines that you could probably do an entire analysis based on one indicator alone. You don't even need leading indicators, though it is considered a lagging indicator because it is superimposed on the chart. And because there's so many variants of many things to consider, today we're going to focus on a very specific one, the cloud itself, right? So what I've done is I went to styles and Tenkan-sen, Kijun-sen, Shiko-span, I've made them black, right? So essentially I've deleted them on the graph, left only the Senko-span A and Senko-span B, and I turned them into a three-pointer, right? So a little bit bigger, right? So a little bit fatter. And this is, because if I would start explaining all of this, it would probably be for a very long time, and you would probably not even watch the end of the video. So I'm hoping to keep things light, and as you can see, it's got a very, very interesting kind of tendency that when it passes through the cloud, that's what we will be focusing on. And as you can see, there is, there's that black line, so it looks like it's, breaking through. So it is still visible, it's still there, the other lines, but we're focusing on the cloud itself. Right? So what we're, essentially noticing is a particular pattern here. It's very clear, is that when it breaks through the cloud and comes out on the other side, you are expected to see a continuation of the move. All right, so here it entered, exited, that doesn't count, right? But as we can see, good examples here. There we go. It crossed through. As soon as it exited, we can consider that it should be going up for a while. Again, it crossed through into the cloud, exited. It continued for a while. Into the cloud, exited. Came back into the cloud. Maybe we could consider this as a false signal, false breakout, but then it came out and continued. If we actually, you know what? Let's exit. I was in the tournaments to kind of show you. Show you this particular kind of ability to maybe max out. I was hoping that maybe I would get lucky with the tournament. It's okay to test your luck. Again, my dear friends, please understand, everything in binary, and because I'm no longer representative of a company, everything in binary options revolves around probabilities. Higher probability, lower probability of success. And there are different instruments that would involve different approach, different situational kind of awareness. And in tournaments, the reason why I love, pocket options got this great flexibility, but it's a nail-biting experience on one hand to trade with your real money. You don't give a flying hoot about demo account. But tournament is like right smack in the middle. The fact is that you get real money makes you care enough about your approach, all right, how you trade. But if you lose, you don't lose anything. So understanding that if you start with $100, to turn that $100 into $200 would actually take you a couple of hours. All right, so do you have that time at your disposal? Maybe you do, maybe you don't, but I don't know that. This is still a monologue. I'm kind of hoping that you guys will start hitting me up in the chats or in the comments. But if you manage to just, while you're waking up in the morning, having your breakfast, just click, max enter, you are going to get a successful outcome at some point. And you're going to start not with $100, but you're going to start with like $400 or $500. And at that point, changing $400 or $500 into a couple of thousand is significantly quicker. All right, so you're risking freaking zero. You're risking zero money. You got nothing to lose. Actually, right now, if you're like, oh, Alex, I wish I could trade, but I don't have any money. Dude, seriously, click on pocket option link below. Go through the registration process. It's not a big deal. And with the first deposit, the minimum deposit, you'll get access to tournaments. You don't have to spend your deposit, by the way. All right, so it's not like a prerequisite. You can participate in tournaments only if you spend money. No, make a deposit. You'll get access to chats, which I would actually advise not going into, because people there are not really sharing anything helpful, but just bitch about their money not moving the instant that they ask for it. But Pocket always pays. That's something that I can, assure everybody. You will always get your money. Sometimes usually it's done within one business day, but sometimes it might take like, a day or two if there is some sort of a check on your money movement. So, but anyways, keep in mind that you don't actually spend any of your money, right? You're like, oh, I don't have any money. You don't have to have money to put money into your balance, into your pocket with pocket option, right? Play on words here. So, anyways, that's kind of what I wanted to say. Again, kind of remind that every instrument has the time and place. Every situation is a little bit different, right? In how we perceive it. So, anyways, we went back to my to my real account. Oh, it's actually, kind of nice that it doesn't have cents. It's kind of weird seeing that there's, flat USDs. All right. Anyways, we are usually, kind of testing the, looking at the asset with ADX in terms of if there's enough momentum. Right now, the market is ranging with CAD, JPY, OTC. All right, but there's not really a trend, right? We got a 12%er with ADX. We got volatility that's decent. We got a buy signal. We actually could take advantage of that. Let's see if we, or, the next minute. There we go. And we're entering a little bit late. But, yeah, remember that yesterday we talked about envelopes, right? You can take a look at that video. What is envelopes? Yes, you're absolutely right, Donald. It's a flexible support or resistance levels. What it kind of conveys is that if the asset breaks through, chances are it's going to continue to break through, but if it bounces back, chances are it's going to continue to bounce back. We do have a buy signal from Shaft, from MACD, but it was on this candle, so I was a little bit late. Though it did cross the middle line, which is a moving average, and I do have a inkling that it should continue, but I'm beginning to kind of change my mind because once again, there's no kind of inertia to that movement, and the flexibility or the volatility being somewhere in the middle, and the fact that it touched the resistance level, yeah, it is likely that it's going to bounce back. And just like it did here, kind of touched, bounced back, touched, bounced back, kind of broke through, but false breakout, came back in. So the fact is that it has no momentum. That's the thing that kind of got me questioning my ability right now to maybe analyze a little bit more, to not rush into it. So let's see. We got a fractal says that it's going to go down. We got, MACD and signal line retracing. So, you know what? It could be, right? It could be. There we go. We got parabolic that's, kind of mentioning that it should be going down. Let's see. Let's kind of go with it. 1875. If everybody kind of watches my videos, you understand that in technical analysis, I usually use the chart with my Excel sheet with martingale. That a first position is around $2, but with multiplier of 1.5, it goes to 4 steps worth of martingale. I usually do it till the end of the candle. So in about 10 seconds, we're going to see. All right, so actually there, we got a cross of the zero line, the MACD, the parabolic, the fractal. Volatility is high. We got positive DI going upwards, and we got the ADX that's, kind of waking up. Release the Kraken. All right, we got a 12 climbing to 13. I mean, do I believe it's going to continue to go down? We got another sell signal from Shaft, so we could probably, go back. And by the way, yeah, see, we so far we don't have a good statistic. We got 1 out of 3, but I'm in the money. There's $5 lost here. There's 661, right? So I made my money back, and I'm, a buck plus in profit. So, anyways, though, this is what we're usually, we're used to. We see that it's, breaking through. There is, seems like there is enough momentum to cover this, so we're going to go to the second step martingale on the following candle. I'm going to sell again unless the indicators show me something different. All right, so let's keep that in mind that technical analysis, that's why we're trading OTC, because it's got a high payout, none of this 80% crap. We can tailor, and you know what, I'm going to sell again. At this point, and then we're going to see about see volatility dropped again. Though we got a sell signal from Shaft, we still got parabolic on top. We got ADX rising. It's not really a trend yet until it rises above 20%. But I'm, just going to be reserved a little bit here. And what we usually do is, and wait a second, yeah, where is our? Let's change envelopes, right? Let's close envelopes and let's open up Ichimoku Cloud. Holy bananas. Alright, so yeah, actually, look, see, there's the cloud right there, and it passed through, so we are expecting that there should be a continuation to go downward, though there seems like a kind of like a fight right now between the bulls and the bears. 750, next candle. 3, 2, 1. Oh, no, okay, we won, so good. We're going to go back to 2. All right, so let's adjust. See, we got a graph that's squished already, and I think that I might... it's nice to see the volatility, the kind of candles that you should be receiving. So ATR is really good about showing you if you're going to win by a pip or maybe by 10 pips. I prefer to win by 10 pips, right? So when you win by the skin of your teeth, that's not really something that's I don't know, in my chest, it doesn't feel like a win, right? The same, Fast and Furious. If you win by an inch or a mile, you win is a win. Bullshit. I don't know. You have to win by where you don't have to go to the photo finish. My opinion. And I did do some racing, actually. Fast and Furious had a massive impact on my life. I still love fast cars, though I'm a dad of 3 girls now, and this is something that has to be checked. Though I am looking to buy a toy that made a significant impact on my life. My latest project in the States was a 2004 Mazda RX-8, but I had a 2.0 triple rotary in there. We actually ordered one from Unos from Japan. It was absolute monster. With the medium-sized turbo, was pumping out like 900 horsepower, and I had absolute blast in it. And I think that I want to treat myself to something like this because I'm going to stay in the spot that I'm at for a while. Maybe I can replicate something like this as well. Though I don't think I would want a rotary. It's too much of a pain in the ass, and it eats gas like crazy. I think that I would want to enjoy it on the long trip, so I might put in like a 2JZ motor into it, or maybe even an RB. But anyways, if anybody knows about this kind of stuff, hit me up in Telegram channel, or maybe here. Do you have like a project car, or do you find cars I don't know, to me, cars are like people. They got their own personalities, man, and they can, make your life a living hell or something wonderful. Anyways, so coming back, okay, we got the Ichimoku Cloud. I'm gonna, delete the ATR for now so that the graph looks a little bit better, and we're gonna go into the settings of the Ichimoku. And as I mentioned, we're going to black out all of the extra. You are welcome to reach out to me and talk about all sorts of ways to trade Ichimoku if you're curious about this. But there we go. We had a kind of almost like a false breakout. Boom! It kind of came through the cloud at entered. So we are expecting this, but this is not something that can last forever. All right. So we got the green bars from MACD. We got the ADX kind of climbing, though we got it with the negative DI. So there's still kind of a bearish dominance, though I'm thinking that it's not something that's going to last for long. All right, and having said that, I kind of want to... Wait a second, I wanted to do something. What did I want to do? Just wanted to, something skipped my mind. I thought I wanted to... maybe add another indicator perhaps, but no. Alright, so we do have a support level that's kind of interesting, right? Maybe from this point right here, we got it like that. Alright, so there we go. We got a support level. So it broke through. There's a bunch of... okay, wait a second. I wanted to change the styles, right? So this should be, kind of to be a little bit easier in comprehending what the hell is, positive and negative. So positive plus the DI, directional index, and negative directional index. So if the red is going up with the ADX line, it means that there's, essentially there's momentum enough with a negative movement. right? So in this case, this is like a scale of percentages to to 40 or something. There we go. It goes high. When it does go high, the higher ADX goes, the higher the momentum of that movement is. So right now we also have kind of like a 2-point contact for a resistance level. So we do have a support. Well, it's almost like a channel, right? Boom, kind of went sideways, up, boom. It's going down. But look, it's breaking, but the negative DI is rising up, but I would actually wait until the end of the candle, the next one, to see if it's going to come back into the channel, because we got a 1, we, could say that it's close enough to 3, 4-point contact. So if it breaks through, chances are it's going to continue, but at this point, we need to look at other levels of resistance. So here it was resistance at this point where it is right now. If it breaks down, we're looking at maybe somewhere here, right? There was another kind of point where it didn't break through. And the lowest point is something that we do need to keep an eye out. So there is a bit of volatility, which kind of makes me kind of interested, interesting situation. We got the cloud going down. So as I mentioned, in this situation, I mean, would I want to still sell positions? You know what? Yeah, I'm looking that the ADX is rising, but I would actually think that me personally, I would be more comfortable in a reversal situation. Um, Nah, my boy Henry, quarter mile at a time. My boy, I mean, that movie made such a big impact on me. I don't know, I was actually very angry in America. And not a lot of things brought me pleasure right up until I bought my first brand new car that got dusted at a red light, and I went to a tuner shop and I said, well, this is what I got. Help me make it faster. And, we started with a cold air intake, we started with the headers, and an exhaust system to free up some sort of like 10 maybe horsepower. And then, this is something that kind of bit me hard, and I started investing more and more time into this, more and more knowledge. Man, back then we didn't even have like digital subscriptions to magazines. Actually, I had like 7, 8 subscriptions to Tuner World, Euro, things that, magazines that I would sit on my toilet, all right, sit in my sit in my room and read very carefully, remembering all sorts of engine specs and stuff like that. And man, I used to love this. It's something that brought me so much joy. The biggest kind of like disappointment was that in America, when I had enough money to afford GTR 34, they weren't allowed. Now, as of like a year and a half now, they are allowed to be imported into the states under the 25-year rule. And finally, there are GTR 34s in America, but I'm no longer in America. And now I have 3 kids, which once again, the budget is being distributed slightly differently. All right, so check it out. Check out what we got here. Situational update. We got negative DI, kind of crossing the ADX, though ADX is rising, so it can continue. It could, could do the same thing here. It could actually go down and then boosh, go back up. We got shaft, kind of like at the bottom. We can see that it could be at the bottom for a while, but it's already, we're looking at past couple of candles that are sawing this particular level. So I'm seeing 3 green bar. Oh, all right, red bar. So we could still continue to see downward movement. Downside, down. Maybe, as I mentioned, maybe it would go sideways as well. Where is it going to go afterwards? If it's going to start going upwards right now, I'll probably say somewhere here. It would face resistance, before bouncing back and maybe continuing to gain momentum upwards. But it's still too early to say. All right, so maybe let's take a look at other ones. There we go again. So we're focusing a little bit more on Ichimoku Cloud itself today. So as I mentioned, it is something that well, you can see it's got relatively decent kind of performance, right? It breaks through, you can see that it goes down. It breaks through, you see that it kind of goes up for at least a little bit. All right, so we could we could tap it. Like, this was actually the unicorn right here. I would have loved to have been part of this. We got shaft, we got MACD, we got parabolic SAR. And, oh man, this was, the fact that the MACD continued to go downwards and cross the zero line, the lines, the MACD and the signal line crossed the zero line, that also is a signal in itself. All right, so this is actually like a really, really nice kind of situation. Now, it's been doing this for a while. This is not something that I'm particularly fond of, but we can see that also that there is ADX is up like 28%. It's pretty decent, right? 27 with a negative DI. It crossed the Ichimoku cloud from top through. And at this point, yeah, we could have, continued to see we got MACD, we got shaft. This is also as good as it gets with parabolic, just switching. So this was a decent time to start opening sell positions. But again, for about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, for 8 minutes, it's kind of sawing this particular level. It's not really I don't know, insistent into going into one direction or the other. Alright, so the fact is that we're coming close to the parabolic makes me kind of think that there could be soon enough, it could be a reversal. Alright, so there, after it went down, see, it does have this kind of boom, sideways, retracement down, sideways, kind of, down, sideways, down, okay, a little bit of resistance at this level. See, this is where it kind of, should I go, should I go? And yes, it did go through, it broke through, but then it goes sideways for a while before retracing and, maybe doing, kind of this situational thing. But look at this, this is what I love about, the trend is your friend kind of mentality. All right, so you stay, look how freaking awesome that was, right? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, and on the fifth one, it broke through, but it kind of did this thing where it came back in, and then again. So now we kind of established different resistance levels. There they are, right? That's a really good one. 1, 2, almost, but nevertheless, we got 3. So this is a good confirmed level of resistance. Considering that this was broken through, that's it is no longer valid, so let's readjust it to see if it fits any other kind of movement, right? So maybe we could say it's kind of like this right here, started boom, expanded, a bit of a false breakout perhaps, expanded, didn't really go back down. Would have been really interesting. This would have been a better pattern, but we got kind of like a double top situation when it broke through. Actually, yeah, wait a second. I don't know, bear with me. We did mention about the double tops or, Forex patterns, and let's change this color to be a bit more noticeable so that you guys can see. All right, and if we duplicate it, all right, we got, it's not like ideal, but after the movement upwards, if it reaches a level, bounces back, and then again reaches that level and bounces back, we do have a particular understanding that after it breaks the neckline, right, and neckline would be the middle part right here, that after it breaks the neckline, it's got like a, potential to continue. So here we got other signals, right, from everywhere else. We got parabolic, there it is, right? So it was going up, it came up to a particular level, rebound, came up to a particular level, and once it came down to around here, you had another pattern confirmation about that there should be a downward, a higher probability of a downward movement. Right, and we at these points, at these support and resistance levels, we're actually looking at other indicators to confirm that. It's just a point of interest. This, we're right here, based on the pattern, the double top, it's a point of interest, but you're looking at other indicators. Bam, 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 beautiful, start opening. We got Ichimoku entering, and on this one, it actually, on this one, right here, it closed on the outside. This candle right here was also something that could have been used as another, continuous signal that there should be more red candles than green. All right, so it's sawing at a level. We got a buy signal. Where the hell am I? I'm kind of sleeping here. There we go. Yeah, so just keep in mind that there are such things as patterns that could give you a little bit extra insight on the points of interest. And then you're looking at indicators for confirmation. So yeah, double top in effect, as good as they, not ideal, but damn near, good enough for me, I guess. All right, so what do we got? We got a 3 for the second step martingale, and we're waiting. I do believe that, I took it a little bit later than I should have. I should have opened it at this candle. Somewhere here, we got fractal saying, it's my early signal that it's good time to open, to look at indicators, and on the next candle, we should have opened that position, not 2 candles later. So the only thing that makes me a little bit hesitant about, opening another position upwards, but I'll still do it, is this, right? ADX is showing that, negative DI is crossing, but the positive is, or, pointing downward, but the positive DI is not really pointing upwards. We got only parabolic and fractal, and the fact is that it's kind of meeting maybe a previous resistance support levels right here as the points where it faces this kind of difficulty to go through. So right now, I would say that I'm still going to open a buy position for 750. But maybe, actually, no, based on all of the things that are shown here, I'll probably wait, and get a little bit more information. We got a first red bar, we got negative DI spiking upwards a little bit, though there's probably not enough momentum because it keeps dropping. We got a fractal saying down. I don't know, what do you guys think? Should I go with this, or maybe wait, right? So we still got this. We got signal MACD line above the signal line. You know what? Maybe I should draw another trend line because it does look like it has an upward kind of support level, right? So predominantly it's been going downwards, right? But right now it's facing a situation where it's still going upwards for about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 for 10 minutes. So it's been dropping new lower highs since 1532, right, about half an hour before we started. But in approximately 10 minutes, it's been showing that it should be going upwards. And I would love to see this to be engaging as well. You know what? Let's open the position, I guess, for upward movement. I still feel, there we go. We got a crossing of the DIs, though the ADX is still pointing downwards. So if I'm gonna win, I'm probably gonna win by the skin of my teeth here. Not the perfect situation. Should have entered just a little bit sooner to be in a better position. But nevertheless, and we're going towards the Ichimoku. So if it breaks through, we got a 1, 2, 3, 4 point, maybe even 5 point contact for this. So if it continues to go up, I'm going to continue to buy because we got, all right, I'm kind of going into this a little bit too soon. So maybe I'll have to open it for 18 bucks. Wait a second. Yeah, let's be now it seems like I should be winning this position. We should be winning this position, so let's go to the next candle and let's open another one for $2 for upward movement. So naturally okay, so at somewhere around this level, do we see any kind of resistance points? All right, so there was a resistance level here, there was a resistance level here, was a resistance level here, there was support level here that it couldn't break through, right? So we're seeing kind of repetitiveness. So there is an upward movement, a bit of a retracement, upward movement. There could be a bit of a retracement. But if there is an upward movement and it goes through the cloud, even though it's kind of like intertwined the line here, chances are it's going to break through here. And if it breaks through here, it's got potential to continue to go higher. How much higher, right? So if it breaks through here, I would say somewhere here it will face resistance. Look, see, there it is right here, right here. It couldn't break this level. If it breaks through, it's going to go to the next level, which would be here. And actually, we can mark them with horizontal lines. So first one is going to be about here, and we're going to duplicate it, and the next one is going to be about here, right? So here, it didn't break through. So just keeping an eye out on this. So I lost $2. It's okay. Let's go to 3. Let's go to the next minute. And all right, let's buy a 3. I'm gonna see a third step martingale again. Not really painting our situation with the statistical success as something super high, but we're making money. That's what it ultimately comes down to. I don't usually do that. Yesterday I did mention the hardest part about doing live streams is that the market might not be giving the ideal situation that I would usually act upon. That's why my investment is super small, right? Like $2, $3, $5, 750, maybe up to 18. With the multiplier so small, the profit is not monumental at the end of the day. But at the end of the week, or I'm sorry, at the end of the month, it's something that I would find, big enough. And actually, yeah, right there by the skin of our teeth, we did not win the position. All right, we got 2 red bars. We don't have momentum enough. I would say that yeah, it could go back down. It could go back down to this level where I think that this would be a one first point contact, second point contact, not ideal situation because it's across a wick instead of a body. But yeah, it could continue to go downward. But as I mentioned, I'm still thinking that it's been going down for about an hour and a half, or I'm sorry, for an hour, and for the past 15 minutes or so, it's challenging this particular move. So I'm gonna, I don't know what should I buy? It seems like it's all right. You know what? I'll go for it. It's not a big deal. I mean, we made a killing in last week with the retail sales, so I got a much bigger security kind of blanket here, and I think that I'm gonna want to continue to buy as well. So there we go. This is the situation. Look, we got the MACD line, we got the signal line. They're crossing the zero line. We got the crossing of the Ichimoku, potential crossing of the Ichimoku, and at that point we got a potential breakout of this resistance level. So if that happens, next level of interest, I think that I would be buying until it reaches here before I could expect that there should be a bit of a retracement. And if it breaks through this is going to be the next level where I would, consider holding off until the market shows me something else. ADX is slightly pointing upwards with the negative DI, or with the positive DI. So it looks like we should be winning, right? Let's go to the next minute, and I'll open another, there we go, buy position right here. So let's see, maybe we're fine. My unicorn that I want to like specifically riding the lightning with you guys is where we're able to catch that particular trend where it continues to go up and we open like 5, 6, 7, 10, 20 positions in a row into one direction with proper martingaling, with proper money management, because there's always going to be pullbacks. But if signals and everything else continues to show that it's a good idea, we're going to continue to open positions higher and higher, right? So I would love to see maybe like a 2-3 pip wins, allowing us more candles to go upwards up to this, because if this candle right now shoots through and touches this level, oh hell no, I'm not going to buy more. I'm going to wait to see if there's going to be a retracement first, because this aggressive movement by itself is actually aggressive enough where it would make me question the validity of my idea of continuing to to buy, because the size of the movement matters. Yeah, you know what I was thinking right now, right? Anyways, all right, so if it's okay, so this is the first level of interest. We're gonna, we're buying still. What's the next level of interest? I would say somewhere here, and the next level of interest would be, the highest point in approximately past 5 hours. Oh, nope, not this. Don't want that. Where the hell is? There we go. All right, so we do have a pullback. Would be a bummer. We got a first red bar. All right, I would kind of hope that, yeah, I'm kind of would like this to be going higher. So we're still going to continue on the next, wait a second, on the next, oh, we didn't lose or win anything. Did I open for $3? No, I didn't. All right, wait a second. No, I did the goofy thing here. Okay, and we're going back to $2. And you know what? I'm still going to buy. even though Fractal said, it's going to go down. So it did exit the Ichimoku. It is something that is testing the resistance level. If it goes back in and goes down, you know what? I would say that, yeah, man, it's got potential to go back down to, this level. Would be of interest, but come on. I'm kind of urging and talking. This is not a good sign when you talk to the market. Like, come on, baby, daddy needs new shoes. I don't know, whatever. Not a good situation when you start talking to the graph. It usually means that you're still kind of impulsive. And so you got to give, you got to make allowance um, for these kind of reactions. All right, so it's sawing a particular level. I don't know if we won. So I don't know. See, this right now, I'm already hesitant. I still think that it should be going up. And, just based on the fact that MACD and signal line are crossing the zero line, it's usually, kind of impactful enough. We got ADX that's rising, positive DI that's a little bit kind of, having trouble. There we go. It's testing this level. It's breaking through. All right, so not bad. We got up, down two, up, down two, up, down two. So maybe we got this, kind of upward movement again. See, it does have certain systematic, uh, I don't know, reaction to, all sorts of this. So this analysis, yeah, I would actually consider that there should be a bit of a retracement and, close to this level again, where it could saw it a little bit before shooting back up. So we have all right, so Ichimoku, right, so it's crossing. We do have wait, why am I yapping? Let's continue to buy. All right, we got a third, second step martingale for the following. All right, so everything is loaded. And you know what? I'm going to do something stupid. There we go. I opened the position, two positions in the same go. That's not really something that I advise ever doing. But this movement is just so big, I'm actually tempted to do it again. And next one, 18.75. Really actually stupid thing that I'm doing right now. Because, you know what, it could, right, in 20 seconds, it could actually just dip in for a little bit and start going back up. So the fact is that I've already committed 3 steps martingale into this. That's really dumb. And this could be, look, we got a positive parabolic switching to the top. We got everything else showing that it should be going down further. It's just that, man, that's actually a really big move. I'm opening the 4th step martingale. Oh, into the following candle. Oh, I goofed up over here. So it's not really a problem of the signal, it's a problem of execution. Right, so yeah, it looks like it could be going upwards, or downwards, but this particular candle is so massive, it makes me think that the following one should be retracing and closing somewhere upwards before it continues to go down. So it touched the cloud, not a big deal. Looks like we're about to, if we're going to win 750, that's going to be an excellent kind of addition. The only reason I'm kind of explaining really why I did this, looking at the size of the candles, the fact is that this one is so freaking massive. It does, there we go. we won a lot of money, right? So we lost the 2, but we won the 3, the 750, and 1850. So in this case, we made some decent money. So it was 20, 22, about 20 bucks, right? $20 worth in 1 minute. How do you like them apples, right? I think that was also from Fast and Furious. All right, so what do we got? Kind of like a weird situation here. We got MACD still going above the zero line, going strong. We got 3 red bars. We got the positive DI kind of bouncing off of the ADX right now, and it seems like it's still going upwards. And I bet that we will see. Oh, expiration didn't. All right, so yeah, I need to change it up. There it is. I am going to buy upwards again, just based on the ADX. There wasn't actually crossing of Ichimoku, but I do believe that there is enough momentum. All right, there we go. We won by the skin of our teeth on this one, so I'm going to wait a little bit more. Actually, wait a second. What time is it? Is it All right, we got 10 more minutes before I got to go pick up my kid from kindergarten. So I think that, yeah, next minute should be going upwards as well. We got parabolic on the bottom. We got green bar. We got ADX climbing with the positive DI. So yeah, we could be all right, but it is testing this period. This is something that makes me a little bit cautious. So I feel like it could be touching this, going back down, and then maybe with enough momentum, if it continues, is going to go upward. So technically, if I was trading by myself, I probably would have waited for the next candle and or the one after. But considering that I'm being pressured by live trading to actually trade, I'm taking certain positions where I wouldn't do that in on my own if I was trading and being patient enough. Yeah, positions would have been bigger. Um, because once again, in an hour, I could have opened maybe 5 positions. But you see, as I mentioned, doing that with you guys seems like it would be an incredibly boring video. So we're making allowances for, the goofy results of the market with a smaller investment. So I hope that you see the logic here. I keep dancing around this issue, and I keep saying that, hey, you know what, Alex, why aren't you making, millions of dollars? Well, because I'm not chasing millions. First of all, to chase millions means you have to risk big, and I don't like to risk big. So there we go. We're testing that period once more. So in 9 seconds, I think that we're gonna win. There we go. It's got enough momentum. Is it gonna break through? Let's see. 3, 2, 1. We're in profit. Okay, we got a fractal saying that it should be retracing. I would say that that's logical. I would say that that's logical for this to go back up a little bit and then come back below this level. The reason is the growth that we see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This big ass candle that went down was almost equally matched by the following two. So it, I don't know. ADX still climbing. All right, let's go. Let's go for this. I mean, honestly, I should have entered a bit sooner. We're going towards the next, loading the next step martingale, and we're gonna wait, but. This is, twice this level has been not breached, right, around this level. So we could actually move it up and down a little bit, maybe here, maybe, here across the body or across the wick. So we give it a few points, so it seems like there is enough momentum to continue to break that, to go through it. There we go. And we're, wait a second, we go back to $2. I think I got everything loaded. And yeah, we're continuing to ride this. Okay, so now the next logical step that it's going to go to is to this candle. But as I mentioned, yeah, look, we got, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 back. 1, 2, big movement. Actually, it was probably the size of these 4 candles. There is also a pullback. 1, 2, 3, 2 candles back. This ridiculous thing that happened here. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So naturally, it's only logical that it is going to retrace. And again, I'm going to do that stupid thing that I say usually don't do, because we don't really, we don't have all the cards at our disposal. We can't see the deck, but we can calculate the probabilities. Right, so after this big, downward candle, which was the size of the previous 4 green candles, what is the likelihood that it's going to go? All right, there we go. We won, right? So at the end of the, in one expiration. So, you know what? I think that at this, I'm going to end it, right? So we got 750 in process, profit. We won 690, but we lost the 2 and the 3, which I don't know why it does the flipping thing, because we opened this later and this, ahead of the 2. But nevertheless, so my dear friends, Tuesday, all right, so Ichimoku Cloud, seems like a very easy kind of understanding. It breaks from the top side through the cloud. This is your buy signal. You're kind of looking at other indicators here. I would have noticed that the ADX and the negative DI are going up with each other, so I would have started selling as well every single candle. As soon as it kind of reached this, where it goes, up, down, and, we're coming closer to parabolic, I probably would have been expecting a reversal already at some point. This is where it happened. on this candle. We had fractal saying, hey, it's going to start going up. We got, parabolic that switched to the bottom. We got ADX. We got MACD. And, started buying. Boom, 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 boom. Anyway, so other indicators, right? So this is where, again, I want to kind of highlight. We're going to go through all of the indicators, and we're going to go again through all of the indicators, just in case some of our viewers, some of our, like-minded people are going to start paying attention that some of the indicators might resonate with you a little bit better. So if that's the case, once again, there's no good indicators or bad indicators. There's just situational kind of thing where one of them will be more appropriate towards the situation. So, I keep mentioning this from different angles, different directions, but you are able to go back through all of the videos and say, kind of take a peek. I usually describe it very, very general. I show you the signals, that's what you should be expecting. If you got any questions, Telegram channel is being worked on to be developed a little bit more and more, to include more and more. As soon as we get our, kind of viewership up a little bit, we're going to start doing prizes. So, right now, those who are loyal right from the beginning, you guys are going to get the most for your buck, I guess. And as you can see, again, at the end of the day, we keep winning. We keep winning. The positions are not big, but nevertheless, if this is something that interests you as an approach, you are able to kind of test it out in the demo account, right, in the tournaments, to see if this is something that really does have the statistics and logical application of math to your statistics. That's what I wish for every single one of you. A bit of the red pill from the Morpheus. Wake up. You got to ask proper things from this instrument. And when you do, it's going to, blow the cover off your, entire life, man. It's going to be a fantastic instrument as a side income that will be able to help you branch out into traditional investments. And this is the platform that you want to do it on, because you do have flexible expirations. Not all platforms will allow you to pick your expiration right down to a minute and 15 seconds, or only for 45 seconds, or as a timer, or from the entry point. This is a great thing. Free tournaments on a daily basis. A demo account that you can top up yourself. Actually, not all platforms allow that. You have to contact somebody. You have to ask them and beg them to top up your account at the top. Not here. It's this is where they give you freedom to do something that fits you specifically. All right, where you don't have to feel like a baby kid asking for a candy. All right, so click on the pocket option link. You'll see all of the graphs that are exactly the same. You'll see all of the signals are aligning with my stream, and door is open for anybody to be asking questions, my dear friends. So thank you again, and I'll see you tomorrow.